Well, welcome back to Scouting for History, and I'm back at this 1919 house that was built on a colonial foundation, and today I'm going to do the curb strip. I might jump into the yard if I have time, but hey, let's go see what we can find. And the first find of the day is a nickel. Sorry about the car noise, but I'm right by the road. Well, second find of the day is a green wheat penny. On to the next. A nice signal here. Probably a clad quarter. It is a clad quarter, but in the hole with it was a lump of iron, and giving a funky signal. On to the next. Down here by the curb, a nice 3 dimes bell. Not silver or anything, but yeah. On to the next. Well, the curb strip had a lot of work done to it, I'm sure, except for a couple of wheat pennies. There was nothing really old there, so I popped back down here in the yard and see what I can find. On to the next. Well, I'm not sure what it is. It rang up really low, but it's some kind of a large copper disc. The light is terrible today. I'll clean it up. You'll see it right here. On to the next. Well, a deep nickel signal, and it's just the locking part, the teeth and pivot point of an old suspender clip that would turn and lock into the belt or the suspenders. Interesting. On to the next. Well, it took about an hour, but finally a Merc. Awesome. Hoping for something a little older, but I'll take a Merc. On to the next. Well, that's amazing. Way down deep, a tiny little 22 bullet. That thing is tiny. And the machine found that. Don't think I'm going to miss a whole lot this deep. That one's kind of old, I think. On to the next.
Just remember, when you pull the trigger, the bullets come out going very, very fast.
Well, that was a nice little spill down here. Shame it wasn't a little older. It's 3 clad quarters and a nickel. Now, I've heard people on YouTube call these clad nickels, but all nickels are nickels. The only nickels that weren't the same, I mean, whether they're Shield nickels, V nickels, Jefferson nickels, doesn't matter. They're all made of the same thing, except for a short period during World War II. But they're not really clad, they're an alloy. But hey, not nitpicky. On to the next. Well, another nickel signal. It's thin, but I think it's an Indian. Ringing really low. I'll take a look at it when I get home. On to the next. Now when I got home, I tried to clean up this coin and see what it was. It turns out it is a fatty Indian. Now they had a copper nickel content, and that's why they don't hold up real well on the ground. This one is really bad. But after I talked to the homeowner, I found out the original owners of the 1919 house had actually dammed up that little creek, so the lowest portion was a small pond, and this was at the bottom of what would have been the pond. So with all that moisture and water content for I don't know, 50, 60 years, however long that dam was there, it just didn't hold up well. But it is an 1864 fatty Indian. Awesome. On to the next. Well, now an Indian signal way down deep under a root, and it's a dog tag. I believe it says 1964, but I'll clean it up. It's gloomy. I don't have my glasses. But hey, I'll show it right here. On to the next. And now a bizarre tag that says Roche tongue. I have no idea what that is. Alright, I'll have to look it up. If I find out what it is, you'll see it right here with the cleaned up picture. Interesting. On to the next. Well, I knew it was going to be big, but you never know what you're going to find. And there is a guy with a dog. I think it's brass or bronze. I'm not sure what it used to be or what it was for. Well, decorative of some kind. That's really cool. That's definitely older than the 1919 house. Probably late 1800s. On to the next. And now an old tire valve cap. Might be from a Model T or some other old car. Interesting. Old. On to the next. Well, that's going to do it for this adventure. Not too long. I was only here for about 2 hours. I have to call it short. I might come back. The lady here is very nice. But the best thing I found today is 2 more permissions. So somebody right up the street invited me over their house, and somebody I know, now he lives in an apartment, but he told me his mother lives on 6 acres in the woods nearby. And he's found Native American and all kinds of stuff in the woods, so he invited me over there. So hey, some more permissions lined up. Can't wait. Stick around. We'll see you on the next one.